Tracks, what a waste, and I'ma let you in for a moment. They said he holded a rock, told it a block, oh, you're fired to my town.
Yo, welcome to Spittin with Spitter. TJ Spitter here, Wednesday afternoon. It's a time at 4 p.m. We did it a little later today because my guest is in Vegas. Let me introduce y'all. DJ Sev-One, what up, my guy?
What's up, bro? How are you, man? You good?
How are you? I'm chilling, bro. How are you?
I can't complain, man. I'm thankful, you know. I'm living my life. I just woke up, you know, I was up all night working on some music and stuff. I just got my computer back, so I've been kind of trying to make some more beats and stuff, you know. So
love it.
Hey, man.
Love it. Let me get these little announcements out the way.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get right into it.
Let's get it.
There will be no Around the Turnbuckle Saturday night at 6 p.m. It'll resume Sunday at 6 with the guest Nikki Mariano. Cypher Knowledge will follow with Chrissy at 8 p.m. Log on, hit the YouTube link at 2M1L Media. Like, subscribe, comment, and now let's get into it, my guy.
Yeah.
Sev-One.
My guy.
Jack Davis, what up, my brother?
I can't complain, bro. I really can't complain. I'm so thankful that you even have me on here. Because, I mean, shit.
Everybody asks me, like, you know, where do I pick my guests from? What inspires you to pick my guests? And I just want to grab the dopest people I know at what they do and put them on and let's have a discussion about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it means so much that you even look at me like that. So, and I mean that, truly. So I'm very thankful of you.
Yeah, amazing all the way around. And every art form that you do, whether it's graffiti, graphic artist, producing, DJing,
yeah, man.
You know, to me, it's dope.
I try as much as I can, you know? Like,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, like, I feel like my job in life is to just like give and just keep giving and keep giving. And, you know, sometimes, especially, I mean, you know, like being in the music industry, having that mindset, it's like that's just hard to do because you have so many people that are like, all right, give, cool, I'm gonna take. But it's like, wait a second, let's figure out what you're taking first. You know what I'm saying? Understand what you're taking and understand that this is going to be a gift from me to you and appreciate it, you know? So I really appreciate everything I do in life. And I feel like all my music and my art and all that stuff is, I was made to do this stuff and just to give to people and just teach people that stuff, you know? So
you're absolutely right. It is exhausting. Like, and you know, I'm 40 now. So in this time frame of my life, I'm glad that I've been able to develop some boundaries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, because like people take your kindness for weakness a lot of times.
100%. Yeah.
And my goal in life too is like, I just want to be of service to people, right? Whether it's my family, whether it's people in the industry, whether it's whatever I do, I just want to be able to help.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And people take that shit and run with it. And, you know, it's hard not to form resentments because of it, but I just leave that in God's hands to let him deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But let's get to it. Humble beginnings, Sev. I was you know, looking at old YouTube clips, and there was a baby face Sev.
Yo, I have so many videos that I had to park because I went on my Instagram or on my YouTube and I was like, oh my God, this shit is old as hell. I have to fucking delete this because I have people that are in Vegas, like managers looking me up. Oh, do you have a YouTube? And I'm like, you can Google my name and it will come up. But like, I had to park some of the young ass shit. But it's also cool because it's like, you know, I've been doing this since I was young, like because of my older brother, you know. So for me, it's interesting to see.
We're gonna get the stress in a minute. Yeah. And shout out to the white boy. Shout out to Stress the white boy, man. I love you too, my guy.
Yep.
Yo, how old were you when you started DJing?
I started DJing when I was like 15 years old. My brother, actually, I started making beats when I was like 15 years old. When I started DJing more, it was like around 18 and 19 because I was making beats for these certain people, and the people I was making beats for, they needed DJs. So all the kids that like from the shed and shit like that, like I was doing consistent work with and they always needed a DJ to kind of just like hold them down and stuff. So I ended up going on doing shows with them, and then they ended up liking me a lot, and I went from DJing fucking hip hop shows with Vanilla Ice and and my best friends, the Shed Kids, to making beats, and then it kind of worked hand in hand, So yeah, it was cool, man.
That's so dope. Now my question is, what drew you so close to the culture? Because not only are you a DJ, but you're a producer, a graphic artist, an amazing graffiti artist.
I think what the culture for me was, I grew up in punk rock and like hip hop music and hardcore stuff because of my older brother, and he really taught me everything, and was like, my dad passed when I was younger, so my brother really held down the father figure in my life and was able to kind of just keep me going with music. And I was able to he had a beat machine, and I was like, yo, what is this? He's like, yo, practice on this, and you might own one yourself. And I was like, all right, cool. So he showed me how to make beats. Like, I'll show you. I always show this to kids that come over to the studio. This is how he taught me how to make beats. So if you can kind of say, make a beat. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Snares were twos and fours. Hi-hats were 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1. So this structure for me. I wasn't allowed to sample any songs at all. No sampling records or anything. I can only get my drum patterns like perfectly down, and so it was cool because he wanted my drums, he was like, yo, let's see how you get your drums. And I really love DJ Premier from Gangstar. So that was just my thing. And I love how all his beats were always like skippy, it was like footwork. And my little nieces, they Irish dance. So I looked at all my beats as almost like footwork and Irish dancing, because their footwork, it had a swag to it. So all my drums, I would be like doom, do 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 doom, doom, do do doom, instead of doom, 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 doom. I always like my kick a little off, but had a swag to it. So that's how I started making beats, man. And and just all from this structure, and it's that simple,
That's
yeah, it's interesting.
It's so interesting because now, when I talk to producers, there's a couple of producers that I just rock with, in-house, that I talk to all the time. Nemesis, Fourth Assassin, Supreme, these guys. But most young kids coming up, and it's no knock to them, but hop on Fruity Loops, have no idea how to compose a beat, take a sample, and run with it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the thing, nowadays, young kids, they're not even willing to learn. That's the thing. And I'm saying young kids. I'm 28. I'm young. So for me, it's I'm just trying to teach that my generation, people are like, yo, how do I get here? And it's yo, that's not how you get there by asking me, how do I get here? You need to, if you're asking me to learn, then I'll teach you everything that I know, because everything I know worked for me. I'm not I'm not a celebrity. I'm not I'm successful, thankfully, in what I've done. But one thing I've always had was a mindset that I was able to learn. You know what I mean? So young kids now, they don't really get shit done. They start making beats, and they're like, no, I want to keep my style. And it's all right, bro. But if you have this OG dude telling you that you should probably do this, this, and this, try it, Yeah,
absolutely try it. When I started rapping at a real young age, 11, 12, 13. And I really started taking it seriously after that. But the OGs around me that were rapping were the worst critics in the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what helped me. It was they weren't letting me take any bars off. They were helping me work on my cadence, my delivery. Yeah. But that's something because now I'm a basketball coach, right? I'm very fortunate and blessed and blessed in life. But I tell my kids all the time, you got to remain coachable. I don't care how old you are. I'm 40. And I still try to remain cool. I've learned so much from my son in the last year, whether it's he's like a super athlete, right? Yeah. No body fat, just grinds every day, in the gym every day. And he started me on my weight loss journey, right? And there was an option that I could have got the gastric bypass, and I'm not trying to criticize anybody that's got that, you know what I mean? But for me, I can't do half of anything. Yeah. So I lock myself in the gym and listen to my son and just grind at that. But I say all that to say this, even at 40, I have to remain coachable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, because you never, there's always something that I want, you can always learn something, and I always was amazed in pilots for some reason. I always liked pilots and people that flew planes. I was always amazed by that. Like recently I've been like really into that stuff. So like maybe one day I'll learn that, because I'm open to learning something off of music and off of art and all that kind of stuff, because I'm going to have kids one day, and eventually I do want to adopt a kid too, so I could bring them into my like family, they have them pick whoever it is and just have a kid come in and be able to do that, so I can teach them how to make a beat, art, and also how to fly a fucking plane. You know what I mean? Like just so random. Like,
Yo, that's so dope.
Yeah, so you learn everything. So
now me and you know each other not very well. Like I know Stress better than I know you.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you say you want to adopt a kid, because I'm adopted. So that hit me in the heart, man. I appreciate that. Like a lot of kids aren't fortunate out there, and that's very dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I definitely want to do that for sure, because I feel like, I don't know, instead of having some kid like locked up in a house, like waiting every fucking day for someone to come take him or bring him in or whatever, like I want to be able to do that, because I'll be able to do it. You know what I mean? It'll be fun for me, and fun in a way, like I know he's not gonna listen to me all the time, or whoever the kid is gonna be, but I want to teach him that. I want to teach. So
that's so dope. So in everything you do, there's like a little two-part question, because for me there's a difference, right? What's the most fun for you to do, whether it's graffiti, graphic design, DJing, producing?
I really like painting, man. I love art, man. I really like it because it's a balance for me. So like growing up, I was always writing graffiti illegally and whatever it is, you know what I mean? And that high of painting in Philly and stuff like that, just catching tags and shit like that, that was my high. I never drank in my life. I never smoked weed when I was a kid. Never did any drugs. But for me, even to this day, you know what I mean? I smoke weed now, but for me, it's like that painting graffiti and just that high of running from the police and knowing that he's right behind you and his belt is heavier than what the fuck it is. And I know I got this guy. That it sounds crazy, but that was fun for me. And just that adrenaline rush. I don't do it really that much anymore, but like it's cool because that gave me my balance with art. So like when I would with music and art, I would paint a lot and then I would DJ, and it would give me that balance. You know what I mean? So it would make me feel like it's not my job full time. So
that adrenaline rush running from the cops is different. And the statute of limitation for me is passed, and I was never the fastest, but I just knew the streets better. Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely. And it was funny because those guys, man, they weren't even as bad as the cops out in Vegas. The Vegas cops, shit, forget about it. But in Philly, they just want you to go back to where you came from. You know what I mean? And for me, it's like, in a way, they all treated me really well. I wasn't really doing much. I was just painting graffiti, and so thankfully they treated me well, and I had to do what I got to do. But that adrenaline rush of just painting graffiti, hanging off signs, and then driving the next day, and I'm like, Mom, you see that graffiti? Her knowing that I didn't even do it, but she's like, oh yeah, how do kids get up there? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, but it's me. You know what I mean? So it's it's fun. It's a cool thing. It's like you're Batman.
Absolutely. So what are you most passionate about? Like, because for me, there's a difference. Like for me, like rapping is fun to me, but I don't think I'm necessarily passionate about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I have to every rhyme scheme, everything has been derived from some sort of emotion.
Yeah.
And if I'm not passionate about it, I don't know if I can necessarily deliver the same way I would if those emotions were in it. You know what I mean?
I feel that. Yeah. I think that I don't know if I'm like those words to me, passionate and stuff like that. Those words are really like labels for me, because if I start to think about it, like, oh, am I passionate about this? Then I'm going to start questioning myself. And like when I have anxiety and certain whatever, everyone does, I feel like, but certain things, like I feel like I start to think like, am I passionate about this? Like, well, I mean, shit, I fucking live this shit every day. I wake up and I fucking am in my paint clothes and I'm right in my workshop. You know what I mean? So like I've literally turned my whole house into a fucking, like there's paint everywhere. Just like it's my whole workshop, you know. And thankfully I own my house, but it's like if someone came into people come into my house, they're like, yo, what the fuck is happening here? Like it's just nothing but there's hundreds of fucking canvases just laid out everywhere, you know, and it's just all over the place with just like creativity. So I mean, once you start to live that life and just like live it to the point where that's all you do, I think that's the most passionate you could be when it comes to that stuff, you know. And I mean, even if you start working at what you love and you practice at what you love, I think there's still passion in that, you know. Like same with you say that like you might not be passionate about rapping, but little do you know, like you are, because you keep going back to it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like,
you know, secretly, you know?
And I was thinking about it, like as I was asking you the question for this conversation. If you walk through my house, you'll find either a pair of basketball sneakers, a basketball, some sort of microphone, some sort of painting, some sort of graffiti, some sort of jersey hanging up somewhere. You know what I mean? So like, thankfully I own my house too.
Yeah, right. I know, right? Yeah, that's why I'm like, and I try to use my house for all my homies so they can come here and just do what they got to do too, you know. So, but it's just like, yeah, it's important to be passionate, I guess, you know, in everything that you do, like whether that's being in a relationship or being like a father or a parent or something. I think it's like you have to really live that shit, man. Like, because I see nothing but people, yeah, I do this. And I'm like, all right, word, like I don't really see much doing, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. You know, that's my issue with social media, right? It's like everybody portrays themselves and you get a real dope highlight reel of everybody's life. It took 73 pictures for that one picture to post to get those likes. You know what I mean? And like for me, that's not real life. If you want to ask me come to my house, see how my wife and kids live. You know what I mean? Let there be an organic interaction. Fuck social media.
Yeah, I wish I could get off of it tomorrow, bro. I own anything that I love, bro. I wish I could take my Instagram and just give it to somebody that wants those followers, because Instagram for me is so backwards and completely opposite of the way I want to live. You know what I mean? So I only use social media because I make my money off of there, like off of Instagram. You know, people. I'm so fortunate. Everyone just buys my my canvases through my Instagram. Like I have a website, I have all this stuff, but they just hit me on Instagram, and it's the easiest way to be fucking boom, 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 because I will respond back and stuff, you know. So
that's what I did. Like, fortunately enough, I wasn't just a stranger. You know what I mean?
No, I've known you for a bit, man. For a little bit. We just haven't talked in a minute, man. I've been so out of touch, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, man.
Likewise, man. Likewise. So how do you go from Jack Davis to Sev-One? Where I know where the name came from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. But, yeah, so Sev-One came from so when I was growing up, my dad passed away on July 17th. So 17 was like a number that was really important to me because my dad passed on the 17th. But Sev-One, if you see, I'll show you a tattoo. This is my dad. But if you see, it says Sev-One or 71701. These numbers, they kind of like work with each other. You know what I mean? I'm a numerology guy, you know. So Sev-One came from 17 backwards. You know, 7 and 1, 1, 7. That's where it came from for my dad. So I was painting that consistently everywhere in Philly, but in a way, like in a deeper energy, like mindset, I was literally like manifesting this number, this 17, all around my life. Like, so it's everywhere. It's literally it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in a weird, funky, crazy way, I feel like I've painted all my name everywhere, and it's almost like protection for me, you know, because this number is my angel number, 17, you know, and in a way, it's like it's everywhere, you know. So having that Sev-One name, and then 7 + 1 is 8. 8 is infinity sign. You know what I mean? So and 7 is the most holiest number. Craziest shit too. Last year, I found out I was the 7th child, and I didn't even fucking know. Yeah, because my mom had 2 miscarriages before me, and I had no idea. So it's like it all works hand in hand in the end, you know. So
it really does, bro. That's so, like, for me, that's dope, because like the two numbers that follow me forever wherever I go is 37. That's my basketball number back many moons ago, and 4. And like for 4, like it's always been me, Jacki, my son, and my daughter, the 4 of us. So when the shit hit the fan, like I knew it was going to be, no matter what, it was always the 4 of us.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like no matter what, I know I have them 3 as my ultimate support system for me to carry that on.
Your legacy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Bro, fame, there's no such thing as fame, celebrity shit. You see people that are fucking on TV and shit. That's cool and all, but yo, you're like fame and celebrity, being a celebrity, in order for you to be a long-term celebrity and famous, you have kids, and then you teach those kids, and that's your legacy forever, you know, because you have these people you have your kids that are with you in your life, you know what I mean? You taught them your skills and your way of living, and then they took their way at that, and then God forbid, you know, they're gonna be here longer than us, you know what I mean? So
absolutely. And you know, it's funny, I get to see both sides of the spectrum, right? Like my son is already a million times better than me at basketball at 16, and me watching him grow into a young man and how mature and how well he carries himself is like, that's more than any fame, more than any like, more than anything you could ever give me. And on the other side of the spectrum, my daughter is like an amazing guitar player, amazing painter, amazing singer, like
all talent.
I'm so blessed and so fortunate for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's good, man. I can't wait to have that, bro. I really can't. I can't wait to have kids. People would say, "Well, you're crazy." Not yet. I'm like, bro, I could have kids tomorrow and I'll be fucking good. You know what I mean? Because I know I'll be able to hold it down, you know? So it's just, it's when the time comes, the time will come, you know? So Alabama support right here. What up, Alabama?
What up, Greg Winters? Shout out to Around the Turnbuckle, my brother Alan. He said numerology is a thing. 76 is my number. Born in 76, grew up at 76 Lewis Street. My son was born 7600, and it keeps popping up.
There you go. You see what I'm saying? And then, that's my life right there. Shit.
And a quick backstory. That's my brother Alan, right? But like not my biological brother. Growing up, like we kind of like shared moms.
Oh, okay,
for lack of better terms.
Yep.
And when my mom had passed away, his mom made a promise to my mom that no matter what would happen, like I'd be taken care of.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And like it's shit like that.
Yeah, it's important to have that, because there's not many people that are even fortunate to have that right now, you know. So
absolutely. Chrissy Richards says 7 and 21.
There it is. Yep. See all the numbers. And yo, when you guys type that shit out, that's you're manifesting that shit, because you believed in the number so much to type out 7 and 21. So that means you believed in it, and that fucking believing happens later on in the future, somewhere, somehow, you know. So with those numbers,
I want to backtrack a little bit and touch on mental health. And you had said that, you know, you suffer from anxiety a little bit, and I know you don't really necessarily party and do any of that kind of stuff, which is phenomenal. Yeah. Right. How do you cope with your anxiety?
For me, it's a little different. It's different for me, because I figure out certain things in my life. Like, basically, I put my raincoat on every single day of my life, and I make it look dope, because I know damn fucking well that there's gonna be some fucking storms that are gonna pop up, and I don't know where it's gonna happen. It might happen in 2 seconds, and I don't know what's gonna happen, you know, tomorrow, whatever it is. But I know for a fact that there's triggers all around me, all in life and shit. So it's a little difficult to speak on sometimes, because it's like sometimes you think you know everything when it comes to yourself, but you don't. You don't, you know. And it's not self-love and all that kind of stuff, you know, because I do love myself. But when you feel so unworthy to certain things, meaning like you have everything in life. I have a family that's healthy. I have a house. I have a dog that's awesome. I have a girlfriend that holds me down now. You know what I mean? So like when you have those little things, you almost feel like you're not entitled to anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of the times people will do you wrong, and then will just leave you. Gone. And you're like, wait a second, all we had to do was talk about this. You know what I mean? And then I'll go back in and bring them people back in my life, and then it's like they'll do it again, and I'm fine with it. That's the crazy part. I'm okay with them doing it wrong because I know it's not me.
Right.
It's still shitty because it's a lonely feeling. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like I try to really keep those people out of my life. You know what I mean? And coping with it with just like, I think the best way I've ever coped with it is by just going right into it, right when I'm dealing with it. Like when I'm dealing with it, I have to have 3 of my balances, meaning my music, making beats. Most of the time it's painting. Most of the time it's like me going and fucking painting a painting or some shit, you know, about how I feel. Like I'll write a quote, all original quotes and stuff that rhyme, you know what I mean? And I'll put it out on a canvas and then I'll sell it because people can relate to it, you know what I mean? And then, but it's so funny, true story, not many people know this either. A lot of my paintings, they have old shit on them under the original painting that I sell. You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes it's like an original message of how I felt, you know what I mean? Now I'm right over top of it because I don't want to see it no more. I already got it out of my head, you know what I mean? So it's kind of cool. That's like my hidden thing, and I've never told anyone that ever. Not even on an interview or nothing. It's like my hidden thing I like to do. I like to, like, I'll paint on a canvas, whatever my feelings are, and then I'll just paint right over top of it because it's like that gives it the core of the canvas in a way. You know what I'm saying? So
that's so dope, bro. And I appreciate that exclusive.
Yeah, bro. I never told that. I mean, it's not like, I guess I just really never had the opportunity to tell that to anyone. You know what I mean? So it's definitely it's cool to even be able to do something like that for people, you know. So
people ask me all the time like how I cope, and you know, I spent a lot of years of my life self-medicating and just doing terrible things to myself because like it all comes down to like there was no self-worth, there was no love for myself, you know. And now I have like this amazing toolbox from all the work that I've done on myself.
Yeah.
I stay away from people that'll trigger that side of me. Like I stay away from things that'll trigger that, you know. And like when I get to it, like say like I always get wound up, right? One way or another, I'll start writing, I'll start reading, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the most important thing, you know, like just trying to find that balance, you know. And I mean, people always say like, oh, anxiety. And it's like nowadays it's like a trend. So it's like interesting to me because people just use that for like attention, you know. And for me, it's like that could fuck me up so quick too. Like thinking like that because it's like, wait a second. People don't really realize like at fucking 4 a.m. while you're by yourself and it's just you in your house, you know what I'm saying? And everyone thinks that it's like the party's popping because you're a Vegas DJ. Like, no, like that's not the case. Like you're in your house by yourself and all you're chilling with is your fucking echoes with your sneakers, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's it. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm DJing for all these people that don't give a fuck really much about like that energy life and like protecting it. And I care about all these people, you know what I'm saying? And then you go from that main stage DJing for like 50 Cent and Migos and shit like that. And then you go home and you're like, what the fuck? Why didn't anyone ask me to hang out with them at the table? Why didn't anyone ask me to hang out with them at the, or why everyone is doing cheers and I don't drink? And so everyone's like, oh, you don't drink? And you're like, and they're like, word. And I'm like, yeah, word, I don't fucking drink. You know what I'm saying? So you can get aggressive with it, or you could just kind of like be like, all right, whatever, you know, and that's how I am, you know? So
you see it.
You know, so I just, but in the end, that shit stuff, it does eat you alive, you know, but I'm good, man. I fucking am good. I have all the things that I need in life and that's just creating, you know, so just got to make sure that raincoat's on.
So you were a DJ for 96.5, I believe. How'd you land that?
I was DJing at Cheerleaders and at the strip club in Philly. And I was always wanted to be on the radio. Buster came in, see me DJing, and was like, yo, bro, I went up to him and I was like, yo, man, like I'm a fucking huge fan of 96.5. I just want to learn radio. I want to learn how every single thing you got to do. And he was just like, you want to learn radio? And he repeated me back. I was like, yeah, please. He's like, all right, take my email down. I said, all right, cool. So the next day I was debating on emailing him. I was like, I don't know what I should say. Emailed him. He emailed me right back. I was getting tattooed and he emailed me back like, yo, if you could be at the station in an hour, I'll see you then. And I was like, fuck. So I was like, tattoo artist, I'm sorry, I have to leave right now in the session. He was like, are you serious? I was like, yo, this is a good opportunity. And thankfully he's my boy. And he was like, all right, go do your thing. I made it down the fucking down City Ave in Philly from Bucks County. You know, that shit is like a fucking hour.
Yeah.
I made it there in like 20 minutes and I was 10 minutes early. And so Buster was sitting outside of the studio waiting for me and was like, ah, cool. I'm glad you came early. Let's go upstairs. I was like, all right. So we went upstairs. He showed me a couple things. And then ever since then, like there was no pay at all in the radio. I never got paid. I did a lot of all free graphic design work for DJ Bonics, all for free. Everything was for free. And their knowledge they gave me from the radio station was for free too. So It worked hand in hand. And I was so thankful because I was able to just learn radio and every single aspect of it. It didn't pay off in the end because the radio station got bought out. But I became friends with DJ Bonics, Wiz Khalifa's DJ. He DJs in Vegas, and now it's cool because I'm cool with a legendary DJ and people see that in Vegas and they're like, okay, this kid has history. He's been around or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And it's not even just hung out with him to get something from him. It was just a genuine friendship, you know? So that's how I really won out of the radio station when it comes to that, you know?
That's super dope. And then from there you went to Vegas?
Yeah. Picked up my shit and radio station got bought out. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to move to Vegas. Random. Literally random. My boy lived out here. I lived in his carport. I fucking lived in his, right when you walk into his house, there's like this little area where you put your sneakers and shit. And I had a SevOne fucking poster. And I wish I had a picture of it to this day. I don't have any, but you should have seen my house, man. And it was just like so ridiculous, you know? But then I got a job at Flamingo Pool DJing. And then it kind of went up from there. I got saved up money to get my own apartment. And then right then and there, though, was when I entered my depression, dealing with my dad, which is the crazy part. Because I was by myself. I had no family. I had no nothing. So then I had myself. So I had to like learn a lot about myself and just like certain things and certain triggers. So it was kind of crazy because I just recently been dealing with that stuff, and that happened when I was 9 years old, you know, so it's all positive, you know, you just kind of just got to keep it moving, you know.
Gotta keep trucking through it, man. That's what I say, like, you know, people, and like I revert back, like, because everybody asks me, like, you know, I've been clean for 11 years and some change.
Yeah.
And people ask me, like, how I do it and what inspires me. And like, I'm real honest. I'm like, I'm not going to lie. I get done cutting the grass. A beer sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Handcuffs don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, bro. That shit is not fun, man. That shit is not fun. And not only that, it's your word against theirs. Now,
absolutely.
What? You know? So it's
like realistically, like I'm taking, if I go out and start using again, for whatever I want to deal with, I'm taking hostages this time. Because it's not just me. I have a whole support system that loves me and wants to see me succeed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. believe me, I feel you on that, bro. And it's so dope that you're able to like be able to speak about that now, because there's a lot of people down in Kensington right now. I'm not comparing you to them, but I'm saying there's a lot of shitty things going on in Philly right now, man, and no one's getting out of it, you know? Like,
no, I know.
You know,
I know. I had this little gig for a while. I was a recovery specialist, and you know, a couple of the areas that we had targeted, Kensington was one of them, man. And it's sad and it's unfortunate. And I implore people that if you're struggling with mental health or addiction, reach out, man. There's help out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like absolutely. You can't get out of this.
Yeah, and that's another thing I want to say, because my boy did this recently, and I was like amazed by it, because I was like, wow, it's beautiful. There was a homeless guy, and he looked like he was on drugs for sure, you know, and he was asking for money. So he came up to the window when we were down there, and he knocked on the window, because I just got back from Philly, and he was like, "Oh, can I have some money?" And my boy was like, "Yeah, I'll give you $1, but yo, have you seek treatment?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, I've been seeking treatment." But that was like his way of like, when he gave him that $1, because I'm so like, yo, don't give that guy money. He's gonna go use it on drugs. Like, don't do that. You know, buy him food or something like that. But it was almost like you were paying him $1, just $1, to be like, yo, man, just so you know, you probably should seek treatment. You know what I'm saying? And just realize, like, you know, that there's better, like, I might be the angel to let you know that, you know what I'm saying? So it's a good way if anyone ever wants to like try to help people in life, you know, just ask people if they seek treatment. And it's not very, you can't take offense to that, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that need to hear that, you know? So.
And like, I completely agree, because I'm the same way. I'm very against just handing people that I know are sick and suffering money. You know what I mean? Because I don't know where it's gonna go. But what I will do is buy you a sandwich.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And ask you if you showered today. Do you need something to shower? Do you need some like hygiene care? I'll go grab it for you.
Yeah.
But that'll usually open the door to a conversation. Like, listen, I'm not gonna tell you my whole life story, but it wasn't that long ago. I was right where you were at.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Bro, 100%. True story. I was in Kensington recently, and I was painting. And long story short, the cops rolled up on us. It was about a couple of weeks ago. And long story short, cops rolled up on us, and we had to run. And I had to run, and I was down in Kensington, and these people were next to me. And I ended up just walking with these dudes that were getting high. So I was like, yo, guys, understand that I'm just walking with you right now because I'm a painter. They were all cool. They accepted me right away. So I was like, all right, cool. So the one dude was like, yo, dude, do you have any lighters? I was like, nah, I don't. He's like, yeah, man, I just relapsed just like a couple of hours ago for like 2 years. I was like, damn, bro. So like, you never know what you walk into, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so it's like to hear that and just like someone even admit that shit. It's just like, I don't know, man. I run across a lot of really cool, not cool, like amazing spiritual fucking things in my life. And I feel like I'm sent to try to heal them in a way, you know, just somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll be there for you, you know. I'm down for you. I'm down for you.
Absolutely. And you know, I don't think, you know, my spiritual journey is my higher powers, who I call is God, right?
Yes.
And like, so when I'm talking to people, like a lot of people don't really want to dive into the faith-based conversation or the spiritual conversation. I tell people, like, listen, God could be whatever you want it to be. For me, for a long time, it was good, orderly direction.
Yep. You want to know mine?
Go ahead.
Giving, oneness, destiny.
I love it. I love it, bro.
Oneness and destiny. So, yo, your mind is beautiful, bro, that you just said that, because that's exactly what I've been trying to preach for the past 2 fucking months, because I just realized this shit. You know what I'm saying? Those G-O-D, it might be a person. We don't know. Right. We haven't been around. But those words right there, if you're giving, you're just giving to give. You're oneness, you're being one with yourself. You're one, meaning like there's no ego. You've accepted yourself and everything that you do, and that will create your destiny forever. You know what I mean? So that's dope. you said that shit, man, because I was gonna hit you with that too, and you said it before me. So yeah.
So brother Adlib chimed in at Doobie. Hey Ad.
Hey, what up, Adlib?
And he had asked what happened to YAD.
Oh shit. I don't know who that guy is. He's interesting, man.
Liv wants some shit. I love it, Liv.
All I know is that at the end of the day, that person gets up and he puts in a lot of work, and he's recently got into from what I heard, he got into a fucking fist fight on a rooftop. To this day, you know, holding his graffiti down because he does other things in his life, you know, at the end of the day, he still holds it down on the streets because Philly's fucking hard, bro. Philly's hard when it comes to graffiti. And from what I heard, allegedly, you know, that motherfucker has a lot of heart in the game and doesn't diss anybody at all, you know? And I don't know, I fuck with people like that. You know, I fuck with people like that. I really do. He could hang out with me any day.
See that? Now, I want to, before we segue into your brother, right?
Yeah.
The very first time, and I'm glad Adlib is here watching, yeah. You know, I started rapping, I made a couple joints, and Adlib said, I think it would be really dope if you would come to this spot called Pachangas and open up for, we're having DMS, the Rough Riders, Danny Diablo, come through and tear the house down.
Yeah, yep.
And coincidentally enough, I believe Stress was DJing for Danny Diablo at the time.
Yep.
And that's how I met Stress.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And to me, like, two things. We had the same headphones, so I didn't know him. I was like, I fuck with him already. Secondly, he got the Cadillac emblem tattooed to his chin. Yeah. I said, I fuck with him already.
Yeah, he's hard, man. He's an OG in the game, you know. He really he looks, you know, he looks like the best human being, and he is the best human being, you know, like you can just tell by someone's eyes, you know. So
absolutely. Like there was an album release party for Godzilla in Atlantic City, and he was there.
Yeah. And
I was there, and I don't drink, and I'm exhausted. And me and him sat down and conversated just about life.
Yeah.
No music shit, nothing else that was going on around us. And he took the time to just have a conversation with me. And that resonates with me it has to this day.
Yeah. You know, we were growing up to be like, well, we are, you know, blue collar sons, you know what I mean? Steel worker sons, you know, and everything that we've done in our life, like we just live our life by respect, you know what I mean? And just being like a man's man, you know, and never letting that chivalry die, you know? So for me, it's like, it's really important for me to hold that down for my brother, because not just for my brother, but for me too, you know, just the family down. Cause he's the one that really always, he never loses structure. You know, he'll never lose structure, and he'll never lose himself, because he always knows the person that he is, you know? So, yeah.
And his level of centeredness
it
is so inspiring.
Yeah, exactly. He's one with himself, you know?
Exactly.
He's in one with himself. Longer than I've ever been into this fucking, like, learning about myself, you know? Because, I'm younger, but he's been doing this shit, like, and it's amazing to me because he don't see it and he don't want to admit it, but a lot of people that are around him try to be him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not a bad thing, but you know, he needs to realize that, yo, like, he's bigger than what he thinks he is, you know? So he needs to know that, you know?
So a couple quick questions. Who have you placed records with for the audience out there that thinks we're just talking right now? Who are some of your bigger placements?
So Joe Budden, I made a beat for Joe Budden when I was 19 years old with Travis McCoy from Gym Class Heroes. Him, I placed on Outer Spaces album. Also with who else? A lot of underground hip hop dudes, you know what I mean? Right now, actually, it's fucking crazy. Something that no one else knows. But it's funny because I just got my fucking computer back today or yesterday. I've been recording all of the new Public Enemy, all of it, all of the new Public Enemy, right here with Flav every single day of my life, like for the past couple months. And I woke up one day and my laptop, I opened it up and it had a big question mark on it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What does this mean? So I took it to this guy. He said, yo, you didn't update your computer. I was like, oh, word. And he's like, have you backed it up? I'm like, no, not at all. I haven't backed anything up because when Flav wants to record, he comes in, boom, it just works. You know what I mean? So we've been hitting it every night, like just fucking boom, boom, boom. I lost all of it. Gone. Chuck D, acapellas, everything, all gone. You know, all of New Public Enemy. I have them on my phone. Like I have the actual song, like the rough drafts of them. You know what I mean? But there's not the stems or nothing. So yeah, bro. And then at the end of the day, though, it's okay. You know, I'm not upset about it at all in any way, shape, or form. Like some people would be, but I mean,
everything happens for a reason.
For sure, bro. And Flav, if I FaceTime Flav right now, he will answer. He will answer, and that's just enough for me to know that I have a friend in him. You know what I mean? So
that's dope, bro. Let's talk about how many tattoos SevOne has.
I think I have more than my brother now. I think he said that. Yeah, I recently got my 17 right here. Boom, that one, and then I got my ladybug right here. That shit was I got that shit 3 or 4 days ago in Philly because I don't know, ladybugs follow me all the time. You know what I mean? And they always, I think they're other people in other lifetimes, you know, so they follow me. So I said, fuck it, I just got my face done.
I'm not mad at it. I'm covered basically from my chest up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I've been asking Jacki for a neck tattoo for about 16 years.
Oh shit!
Right, and her famous quote, and that stuck with me. She said, "If you want a jailhouse tattoo," I'm not going to finish the quote because it's not necessarily politically correct.
Yep. I feel you on that. See, I told my girl, I'm like, yo, I'm going to get tattooed on my face. And she was kind of just like, no. And I was kind of like, all right, it's all good. And then we get into a fight. And then I'm like, I'm going to fucking get tattooed on my fucking face. And then I'll do it. And then I'll come home. And then it's just like, she's like, but you know, she's cool. My mom is, thankfully my brother did it all already. So,
right.
You know what I mean? My brother got it all.
Stress paved the way for you to get it all done.
Yeah, he paved the way with tattoos and everything, you know. So I'm completely covered though. I only have this part, just like this end part, like this side part right here, like all that right here. That's all that I just have to get done. But I'm in no rush. I hate getting tattooed. I fucking hate that shit.
It's like the worst shit ever. And here's the shameless plug. One of my episodes, November 6th, I'm gonna be spitting with my tattoo artist. And like I got like a little bit over here left to do, and he's gonna cover that up for me.
Yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. You're gonna have to send me some pictures. Yo, maybe I could draw you out a tattoo one day.
Yo, what?
Yeah, I would love to do that. Yeah, bro. That'd be cool. I'll draw out a tattoo for you or some shit. You know what I mean? Like
that'd be so dope, bro.
Yeah, for the kids.
Hell yeah. Let's get to it. I'm with it.
Let's do that shit, bro. I'm telling you, man. Because that's nothing for me. I could do that shit. I'll bang that out. You know what I mean? Like for me, I'll bang that out for you because you're my good friend. You're my friend and my good friend, you know? And then I'll bang it out for somebody that doesn't really give a fuck about me. You know what I'm saying? And then not really give a fuck. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'd rather do it for someone that's dope, you know? So
absolutely.
With that.
Absolutely, bro. Now everybody knows me. I'm pretty raw, uncut. Yeah. I don't sugarcoat shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I need to know who your top 5 artists of all time are.
Okay, top artists. I would definitely have to say Nas for sure. I'm gonna have to say, are we talking hip hop or just in general?
We could do just in general.
Okay, so Quincy Jones for sure is in my top. You know, that's my second one. Number 3 would definitely have to be DJ Premier. You know what I mean? DJ Premier's my dog's named after Premier. You know what I mean? So like fucking actually it was kind of cool because see the Gangstar right here, you know.
Yeah.
That shit right here. But I seen him when I was DJing the Eric B and Rakim thing before. The 30th anniversary, I DJ'd that, and someone was on FaceTime with him right next to me, and I was like, oh shit, Premier. And so I was like, yo, Premier, like fanboy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like fanboy. And he was like, oh, dope. But you know, it's just like, it was just funny, you know. So DJ Premier, I had to say, I have 2 more left. I think Ninth Wonder would be mine. Like producer wise, like I love Wonder. Like he's just fucking. I could put him in my top for sure. And I'd have to say, damn, this is hard, man. Like, because I could go with Eric B and Rakim, or I could go with Poor Righteous Teachers. I love them. You know, I'd have to say like the Whispers or something like that. Or Bill Withers. I love Bill Withers. I fucking love Bill Withers. You know what I mean? Like I love shit. Like I only listen to oldies, like Motown stuff at all. I don't even listen to hip hop anymore, hardly. Being a hip hop DJ, I don't listen to any radio shit, nothing anymore. You know, so it's like ever since I stopped DJing at Dre's, because right now there's no clubs open. I'm just all in my vinyl. You know what I mean? All in my bag, doing that shit, educate myself. You know, so
nice.
You know, so that'd be my top 5. I know that's probably weak to a lot of people. They're like, probably like, what the fuck? Who is Quincy Jones? You know what I mean? But
artistry is subjective. You know
Quincy Jones is one of the fucking biggest. You know, so it's like
me, like I listen to a ton of reggae, and to people like nobody's ever heard. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with it.
Barrington Levy, all that shit, Bad Brains, fucking dub shit, like yo, all that stuff, man. That shit's the most genuine shit ever. Like, and not only that, but that shit is hip hop before hip hop was. You know what I'm saying? So,
facts.
You know what I mean? Like that shit is. They believe in one thing, and that's the fucking to love.
So,
you know,
we're eventually gonna wrap. Me and you could probably talk all day, but we're eventually gonna wrap this shit up. I want to know, how'd you get started in modeling?
I didn't. I still didn't start for real.
No?
Bro. Nah, I don't even look at it as modeling. I think people just ask me to take pictures for their shit because I have tattoos and stuff, and they just want me to kind of. And I have like a decent following on my Instagram, thankfully. So thankful of that. So, because you know, none of that shit is bought. All that shit is made like from just responding back to people. You know what I'm saying? And like all that stuff. And I guess modeling for me, I guess people would just want to see. They see a look in me, and I try to keep up with like fashion and stuff because of art and stuff. It's art, you know, all that shit. Fashion design, interior design, anything designing as an art, you know. So I try to keep up with it. And I started just taking photos with people and for people, and it helped my social media, you know.
One of the dopest photos I've seen of you is you were standing in Japan.
Yeah.
In the middle of the street.
Middle of the street. Yep. That shit was. You know how I fucking found that guy, man? I found that guy off of OfferUp, bro.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People think on Instagram that you just have photographers like that. People think that you just have it like that because you have a high following. Fuck out of here. People want to fucking charge you for photography, like a photo shoot, like $700 when I could just go buy a stand and fucking take the photo myself. You know what I mean? And that being said, you pay for the art that they're taking of you, you know? So I met this guy on OfferUp and was like, yo, man, I'll pay whatever I have to pay. I've seen some of your photos, but I just want to just walk the streets with you. So this man from Russian guy, he was like, yo, we'll talk about pay later. But it's going to be close to $500. And I was like, fuck, man, that's just a lot of money. Something like that. And I was just like, yo, you know, we'll talk when I see you. So I met up with him. I had in Tokyo by myself, met up with him. I had a book bag of clothes with me, all different outfits. And me and this guy fucking connected so much. Like I felt like I met him in another life. He was a blessing to me, man. This guy was like, yo, I was like, yo, I could teach you some stuff like here. And he was like, yo, I'll teach you this with your cell phone and taking a photo like this. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I built a friendship with him. And, you know, he ended up not charging me really at all, but I gave him more than he was asking for, you know, because I don't know, it's not paying for friendships, but you're paying for the appreciation, you know, of him, like, you know. So don't be afraid to hit up people on OfferUp. Don't be afraid to fucking branch out to, you know, people don't do that shit. People have egos. No, I'm not gonna fucking hit people up to do a photo shoot of me. It's like, yo, make memories, take photos of that shit, you know, so you can talk about it in a podcast later on, years from then, you know, like.
Yeah,
really simple, you know?
And like people ask me, like, how'd you land this guest? I was told if you have a shot to take, shoot that shit.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? And let that shit fly. What's the worst that can happen?
That's what I'm saying. And make sure that net is there, you know what I'm saying? Because it might be a little bit easier for you to fucking throw the ball, because you'll see it from far, far away. Boom, throw it. And it might even not hit the rim. But it's okay. Now you know that you don't fucking do it that way, you know?
Absolutely. So it's all a learning lesson for me.
Yeah, man.
I've learned every interview isn't a great interview. This shit is a great. I love organic conversations.
Yeah,
right?
man. Authentic, fucking genuine.
So my next question for you is, who are your top 5 Philly artists? Because they my people too.
Yeah.
You don't have to list them in any number. We're not here to start no shit with our people. But who is in your Philly rotation?
So top 5, Jedi Mind Tricks. That's 1. 2, best friends like CJ, Evan, all the kids that I grew up with in the shed. That would be like, best friends would be like Biz Mighty, all those guys. Even though Biz is fucking out of his fucking mind and starts beef with a lot of people. Biz, you already know that shit. You know what I'm saying? You already know that shit, Biz. I love you, bro. He's reckless. You know what I'm saying? He's crazy. So Biz, like all those guys. 3, I would have to probably say like, let me think about this, because it's definitely interesting, because I'm probably gonna get a lot of text after this shit, like, yo, motherfucker, what the fuck, like, you didn't mention, you know what I mean? But like,
absolutely,
I'd have to say like, I really was a big fan of like Sean P and shit like that, like back in the day, you know. But Reef the Lost Cause. Reef, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Reef, man. Reef, we're gonna get you on here too, Reef.
Yeah.
Love you, my brother. That's another thing. Like, I love talking. Like, when me and Reef talk, we don't ever talk about music. We talk about family shit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? And yeah, Reef, I mean, I've known him since I was young, you know, so I just love the Stress Files that he made with my brother. And like, that music right there, bro, was like, I feel like that was at his prime, you know, like that shit was just so fucking brutal and hard, you know. So that was important for me. But my last one would probably, I would say Screw Tape, man. And
Screw's a beast.
Yeah, Screw Tape's my boy, man, and I fuck with him hard. His music, him, and just like the way he just like portrays all his shit, man. He's dope, man. He's a great human being, man. That guy's a great human being, you know. So I fuck with that guy, man. Rich Quick too, you know. Rest in peace, you know. Rich Quick too, you know. So
he was another one, just extraordinary artist, and everything he touched turned to gold, man. Yeah. And that's somebody I miss, you know, for the culture.
He lives through me, man. I know he does, because he hops in people's lives. I feel like souls, they hop in people's lives. They spend the day maybe in me one day, you know. But I know Rich does sometimes, because he, you know, he sent me a canvas before he passed randomly. I haven't talked to him, and he just sent me a random canvas of a little baby that I was raising at the time. You know what I mean? And this child meant a lot to me. So he just sent me this picture of her, and I was just like, yo, like, what is this? And why did you send this to me? And he was just like, yo, like, I seen so much importance to you with that little child, and I wanted to make sure that you had that on a picture, you know what I mean? And I was just like, yo, like, that's the most genuine thing that anyone could ever do. And not only that, but that's something I would do, you know? Like, I would do that shit just because he's seen something in that person, you know? So yeah, Rich, amazing. He is still a great fucking dude, you know what I'm saying? Even though he's not here, like, for that exact reason, people need to realize that anxiety and depression is not a fucking joke, and it's not an attention seeking thing. It's real. That shit is fucking real, you know. So yeah, man, it's important. So
Right.
yeah.
Shameless begging spot, right? So me and Jacki are talking. We're gonna either turn my basement or my garage into a studio.
Yeah.
So we don't have to continually do this in random locations and things like that. I just want to know is if I could get you to tag up a whole wall when it gets built up.
Of course, man. Yo, recently I've been painting a lot of more murals for people because, to be honest with you, man, I think I'm gonna stop DJing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be good on it. You know, I don't feel like I feel like I've done everything with it. You know, I've reached my goal. Like I've reached Trey's nightclub. That's the biggest nightclub, hip hop nightclub in the world. Thankfully, you know, it really is. And I'm saying this not to fucking boost any way of my fucking name, but I want someone to have that opportunity. You know, I want someone to have that shit, like someone else besides me. You know, I'm good, yo. I had that feeling of people staring and thankful. This guy's the coolest, even though, you know what I'm saying, they know nothing about me. But, you know, I want people to realize that those lights aren't really fucking what they're supposed to be, you know, and they need to experience that themselves, you know, because they need to do it now before they're fucking 50 years old, 40 something years old. And then they finally get the Dre's and they're like, fuck, yo, this shit is not what I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? Everyone's making fun of me. Everyone's not letting me in with their crew and shit like that. No one fucks with me because I got face tattoos. So those things, they all come with, like, you know, with that fucking life, that lot, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna get out DJing and fucking paint, you know, just do all that shit.
I know you got a couple pieces laying around. You can hold up. Let me see some. Let me see some pieces.
So here's some shit that I've recently been doing. Just selling these little mini ones. It says, I don't even party. I just came for you. You know what I mean? Because I that's my life, yo. Like I don't never drink. I don't go to parties, and if I go to parties, it's like for my girl, you know, or the person that I'm looking to go see, you know. If I'm at the party, I'm either DJing it too, you know. So I don't even party. I just came for you. So like all these fucking quotes are really like personal to me, but that's the way I'm able to fucking get it out, you know. Something like this. Oh shit, she takes my time, but I don't mind. You know, very simple and like. It's just bold, you know. It's just a little nice message for people to leave their house in, and just a little, you know, different shit. And there's this one right here, says "She is art." I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, she is art.
Dope, bro.
Yeah, so it's just like everything I would do on the streets, but now it's on a canvas, and people are able to like hang it up, you know, and do whatever with it, you know. So.
I need some SevOne paintings in my house.
Bro. Oh, I got you, man. 1,000%. Once I'm able to in November I'll be getting a printer, so I'll be able to fucking start sending out more canvases cheaper and shit like that. Because right now I'm sending these big ass canvases out and it's fucking mad expensive on shipping and shit. So eventually I'll be able to send out some big ass shit to you for cheap. You know what I mean? And you know, I'll be able to do it that way. So yeah, man. I got you.
But the next time you are in Philly, hit me, man. Come, I'm like I said, I'm only a couple minutes from your brother.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Hop, skipping, and jump away.
Perfect, man. Yeah, I'm down for that, bro. 100%. I want to start painting more murals for people, you know, because it's one big canvas, you know. And not only that, I'm there doing it in their house, you know. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
So to wrap this up, man, I always ask my guests.
Yeah.
You know, is there anything you want to ask me before we get out of here?
What having kids in your life and stuff like that, you know, do you feel like your end goal really switched when you realized like how good your kids were doing and they were actually listening to you and like you're teaching them well? Like, do you feel like your end goal, like with rapping and certain things, like really switched?
You know, it's funny. It's funny when your whole life will switch when it's just not coming through your set of eyes.
Yeah.
Right. So when I notice my son and my daughter picking up my mannerisms and my traits, whether they're good or bad, right? that'll make everything turn one way or another. Like I tell all my dad friends and all my parent friends all the time, like, because my daughter is 18 and my son is 16, you know, this is on the job training every day. There's no manual. There's no how to be a good dad. There might be a how to be a good dad handbook. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like, it's on the job training, and I have great lines of communication with both my kids, and that's what it's about. Like they know they could come to me, and whatever it is, we'll get through it. See, you know what I mean? And like,
you feel like you have a legacy, huh?
Do I?
That's what I'm saying. See, that's
do important. I? Yeah. Like no matter what happens, I know Spitter will live on. You know what I mean?
Man, yo, I have another one for you. How do you deal with your anxiety? Like you personally?
So every day is not easy. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And like mine usually tends to come in waves. Yeah. Real good and then real bad. And then like I do a lot of praying.
Yeah, amazing.
I do a lot of praying. I do a lot of reading. Mm-hmm. And probably not nearly as much as I should on both. Yeah. Here's something I don't really tell anybody. Jacki, my wife, and my brother know. Like I'll go to a river or a creek or an open body of water and just sit there in silence because there's something about the water that just moves me and calms me.
Yeah, for sure. That openness. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Basketball. And more recently the gym.
Oh yeah. You know? Yeah, man. That's dope, man. I'm glad that those things are helping you through the storms, man, because it's important to have those. Because and not only that, but hear it for yourself. Someone needs to ask you that too, because you know, just hearing you say that or you hearing that shit out of your voice, sometimes that's more motivation to be like, yeah, I have fucking 3 solid things that are helping me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And no one can take those away from me. Ever.
And like, I tell people all the time, like, because everybody, it seems that people hold me in a high regard and esteem, right? Yeah. Which is fine. But I tell people all the time, check on your strong friends, you know, because you have no idea what the next person's battle is and what they're going through.
You don't, bro. You do not. You never know, man. And that's shit. It's interesting life, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It really is, man. And like another big thing for me is a gratitude list. I got taught like 11 years ago. Yeah. You wake up, write down 1, 2, 3 things that you're grateful for. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I tell people all the time, like whether it's counseling or whether it's just advice or whatever, like I woke up. That's the first bonus. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes, like for me, I try to really like recently I've been thinking about going back to therapy and stuff. You know, just like to talk to somebody. You know, I don't want all my friends hearing what I'm going through sometimes too. You know, because sometimes a lot of my friends don't want to they got other things going on in their life. You know, so me talking to them about it is refreshing for them. You know, but sometimes you just need someone that's out an outer box, you know, and doesn't really know you well, just to talk to them. So yeah, it's important, man, just to accepting the fact that it's okay to go to therapy, you know?
Absolutely. I suggest it, man. And Sev, let me be the first to tell you, if nobody else told you today, I love you, brother. I'm always here for you. If you ever need me, I'm 1 call away.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, I appreciate that so much, bro. Yeah, it's fun, man. Life is fun. It's interesting, but you know, you gotta keep it moving, you know.
Gotta keep plugging through it. And with that, we're gonna wrap this up. Sev, can you tell everybody where they can find you on all your social medias?
All my social medias are at DJ Sev-One, SEVONE, DJ Sev-One. And I have a website that I sell all of my art on. It's my new brand. It's called downforyoubrand.com. And basically it's a whole website of like all like for people that have anxiety and stuff like that, you know. I need to work on it more because I want to start selling other people's shit. Like say you create art, or say your daughter creates art, You know what I'm saying? And she has no platform to fucking sell it because she doesn't know how to build a website. I'm going to give her, like, she sends me the pictures of her work, and then I have a section in my fucking website where she could just sell that shit. And yeah, you know, like, cause growing up, all I did was sell my shit off of like the streets to people. So a website, how do you make a website? What the fuck do you do that? You know? So just send me the photos. I'll upload them and then give you the money, you know? It's that simple. So yeah.
That's amazing, brother.
Yeah. Downforyourbrand.com.
I appreciate you to the utmost.
Thank you. No, thank you.
And I'm very humbled and blessed that you would take time out of your busy day to come and be on this show.
Yeah, man. My day is not too busy, bro. I promise you that. Like, I live for this shit, man. Doing this, like, you want to talk to me? What the fuck? That's dope. Like, that's crazy. Thank you, man. Like, that's how I feel like everyone should be, you know? I don't know. We've been born with fucking this shit, you know? You have your skills and I have my skills, so we just, I don't know, we connect in that wave. So
my brother just commented, surround yourself with people who love you despite your flaws and eliminate the ones that bring you down.
Yeah, so true, man. It's so fucking true,
brother.
Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, one last plug before we get out of here. Again, Around the Turnbuckle on Saturday. There will not be an episode. It resumes Sunday, 6 p.m. Nicky Mariano. Cypher Knowledge with Chrissy follows that up at 8 p.m. Go to 2M1L Media. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Sev-One, my brother, it has been a blessing. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, man. I'm gonna hit you up after this so I can give you get you some so I can find out your kids' names and stuff so I can start that canvas for you and shit, you know. So
I love that, brother. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you guys for watching me. Appreciate you guys, for real, man.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Holla at your boy, Spittin with Spitter. We out of here.
Peace.
I'm looking at the man in the mirror, I need a break. Stress weighs on my soul until it starts to ache. Time pass on these past tracks, what a waste, and I'ma let you in for a moment. They said he hold it around.